Okay guys, it's TLD day 16, so make sure you have your math packet. Make sure you have your number line if you need it. Okay? Make sure you've got the paper that says day 16, okay? We're going to do our start change result strategy. So go ahead and put your S for start, your C for change, your R for result. Okay? Alright, ready to listen to the question? The pet store received a shipment of 53 cans of dog food. Now there are 78 cans on the shelf. How many cans did the pet store have before the shipment? Okay, this one is super tricky. Okay? This pet store received a shipment of 53 cans of dog food. That's tricky because did it tell me how many cans of dog food were at the shelter to begin with? No, it didn't. So what's going to go in your start blank? Question mark. Because we don't know how many cans of dog food they started with. Then it says the store received a shipment of 53 cans. So that means 53 cans was delivered to the shelter. So what did it change by? 53. Okay? Now, at the end of the story, how many cans of dog food did the shelter have? Did you find it? Yes, 78. Go ahead and put your equal sign. Now stop and think. If the shelter had some dog food and they got 53 cans delivered, are you adding or subtracting? Right, you're adding. So go ahead and put your plus sign. Now use your two-finger strategy. Put it on both sides of that plus sign. Do I have a number on both sides? No, I don't. So can I add? No. I've got to do the opposite, which is what? Subtract. So I've got to write a subtraction problem. So here in second grade, when we write a subtraction problem, what number goes on top? The big number. So come over to the side. 78, subtract 53. All right, if you need it, use your number line and solve. All right, look at your ones column. 8 subtract 3. I can do that. I hope you got a 5 there. 7 subtract 5. 2. Right? Okay. So how many cans of dog food did the shelter start out with? 25. 25 what? What am I going to say? Usually we write our sentence to label, but since we're doing this at home, we're only going to label it with a word. 25 what? How many cans? Right there. Cans. Woo. Got it? Give you a second to catch up. We're going to do one more word problem. And we're going to start off the week by shortening this assignment. All right, when you're ready, go ahead, get your start change result. Ready to listen? There were 60 flowers in Vicky's garden. Vicky picked 24 flowers. How many flowers are still in the garden? Oh, this is an easy one for you guys. How many flowers did Vicky start out with in her garden? Obviously, yes, 60. What did that change by? Yep, 24, because she had the garden, she picked 24 out. Put your equal sign, and we want to know how many are left. So, if she has 60 and she picked out 24, are we adding or subtracting? Yep, we're subtracting. Use your two-finger strategy, guys. Put your fingers on both sides of that subtraction sign. Can I subtract? Yes, I've got a number on both sides. Go ahead and put it over here to the side. All right, start in that ones column. I hope you're not going to put a 4 down there. Stop and think what you need to do. I'll give you a second to do it. Okay, so if I can't 0 subtract 4, I can't, I've got to go grab a 10. So if I have 6 10s and I move one over, how many are left? This should be pretty easy for you guys. You were doing awesome with it. So move your 10 in with the 0. If you didn't have that, go ahead and finish. All right, 10 subtract 4. 5 10s, subtract 2 10s, 3 10s. So 36 what? What are we talking about? Look at the question. How many flowers are still in the garden? So 36 what? Right here, flowers. So make sure you put flowers next to it. I'll give you a second to catch up. All right, I have to erase. So make sure you've got all that. If you need to stop the video to get it caught up, go ahead and do that. And then turn it back on and I'll tell you what to do next. All right, we're going to move this up. Now guess what, guys? Today, you don't have to do this. Some days you'll have to do it, some days you won't. I want to take some stuff away so you don't have so much to do. I know you all are overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed too. So for today, none of that. All right, so when you're ready, get your next page out so we can get started on that. All right. Now, today we're still learning about our two-dimensional shapes. Remember, last week I told you that two-dimensional shapes are flat, like a circle, like a square, a rectangle, a triangle, okay? Two-dimensional shapes are flat. So, let's look. Here's a new vocabulary word, polygon. Try to say that, polygon. Now, a polygon is a closed shape with 3 or more angles. Well, what in the world does that mean? A closed shape means something like this. If I was a little bug, could my bug crawl around here and get inside that shape? No, it's closed. So it means it's closed. So it also has to have 3 or more angles. Well, we know that we've got angles where the 2 sides come together, right there, right there, right there. So we've got 3 or more, don't we? So, and the sides have to be shaped or straight. So that's a polygon. If it was open, it would be something like this. Okay? See, my little bug could crawl right inside that shape right there. And that means it's open. A polygon has to be closed. Alright? So, polygon is the new word. You all know what a triangle is. It's a polygon that has 3 sides and 3 angles. A quadrilateral. Okay, stop and think. Quadrilateral. Have you heard of a quad runner? Yeah, I bet some of y'all ride on them. 4-wheeler. 4 wheels. Quad runner has 4 wheels. Quad. Quadrilateral. A polygon with 4 sides and 4 angles. Those numbers are important. Pentagon, you might have heard of that one. That's a polygon that has 5 sides and 5 angles. And a hexagon is a polygon with 6 sides and 6 angles. Okay? And we learned last week that the sides and angles, they match. Okay? Alright, so let's move down. And let's look. Look at our word bank right here. Hexagon, look up there at the top. How many sides and angles did a hexagon have? It had 6, didn't it? Quadrilateral. Remember that quad? 4. Triangle. You all know that one. Oop, I sit there and put a 4. Good gravy. Y'all. And a pentagon. How many did it have? 5. Okay. I taught you last week how to count your sides. I showed you the easy way to do it. I always put a little mark. So let's go around this shape and let's count the sides. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, we had to circle the angles. So let's do that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so which one is it? Yeah, it's the hexagon. So you've got to label it. It's a hexagon because it has 6 sides and 6 angles. I'll give you a second to write that. Copy it from right up there on your paper if you can't see it on my board. All right, let's look at this shape. Count the sides. I think you all already know what this one is. 1, 2, 3. Let's count the angles. 1, 2, 3. So what's the name of this polygon? Right, triangle. All right. I'll give you a minute to get that. I know I write a lot quicker than you guys do sometimes. All right, let's look at this one. Count the sides with me. Do it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's count those angles. Make sure it matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what's its name? Yep, Pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides and 5 angles. All right, go ahead and get that one done. All right, let's look at this shape. That kind of looks like a rectangle. But is that one of our choices? No. Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I bet y'all already know how many angles it has, but let's still circle them. 3 and 4. So 4. Well, that's it. I wonder if you remember what it's called. Say quadrilateral. Quad means 4. Okay? So you write quadrilateral down here below this shape. It is a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides and 4 angles. And I have a hard time spelling this word. I have to look. I'm horrible at spelling this word. Remember guys, if I get going too fast, you can always pause the video if you need to, okay? Let's go to this one and let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many angles does it have? I think we know. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what's its name? Right there, Pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides and 5 angles. Okay, last one. Count the sides with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. sure you already know by now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what is that called? Try to say it. Quadrilateral. Quad means 4. So write that down here. And I tell you that this word gets me. I have to look. Look up there at the top of your paper. Okay, these are some of your vocabulary words for today. Remember, hexagon, quadrilateral, triangle, and pentagon. Okay, when you're ready, flip it over. All right, up until now, we've talked about flat shapes, two-dimensional shapes like circles, triangles, rectangles, squares, okay? Now we're going to talk about a three-dimensional cube, okay? And this sheet wants you to learn the parts of a cube. So the cube is three-dimensional, and the parts of the cube are these flat parts. See this square, this flat square? It's called a face. And a cube has 6 faces. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right? Then these corners. Now the big 3rd grade word for those corners is vertice or vertex, okay? And there are 8 vertices or corners. Look, up here at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a cube also has 12 edges. Where the 2 faces come together, this here is an edge. So there's 4 that goes around the top, and 4 that go around the bottom, and there's 4 around the middle. So that means there's 12 edges. So they want you to know the parts of a cube. First of all, a cube is three-dimensional. It has 6 flat faces. It has 8 corners, and it has 12 edges. Okay, so we're going to talk, this page is all about talking about the parts of a cube. All right, so here are words to choose from: faces, edges, corner, square, cube. The directions are use the words below to answer the questions. So let's answer these together. We can go ahead and move it up. All right, number 1. What shape is the face of a cube? I said it just a minute ago. Look at this flat part right here. What is this shape? I bet you already know. Yeah, it's a square right there. So copy that in the first blank. Okay. Number 2, the sides of a cube are called what? All right. Now, I did this video for the other math group, and I called the sides this. So what are these flat parts called? They're called faces. All right. Number 3, the place where 2 edges meet. Well, if I follow my finger across these edges, and where does those 2 edges meet? Right there. What are we calling those? Calling them corners, aren't we? So that's right there. Right here, corner. All right. I think I'm going a little quick, but number 4. three-dimensional shape that is made up of 6 equal squares is called a what? Well, they're talking about there's 6 of these square faces, right? So 6 of these square faces makes up this whole thing. So what is this thing called? It's called a cube, isn't it? That last one right there, a cube. Okay, and number 5, a cube is made up of 6 flat squares, which we call what? So what is that flat square called? It's called a face, isn't it? So we use the word face twice, because this one's worded funny. The sides, well, I think this is a side, but they might have been calling this. But we know the edge is where the 2 faces come together, okay? So I'm okay with what we've done here. I think they should have said that a little differently. But you need to know the parts of a cube, the flat parts of the face, the corners, and the edges. And it is 3-dimensional, okay? So if you need a second to do that, to finish that up, you can stop the video or put it on pause, but come back so I can tell you what to do for your science or your social studies today, okay? All right, so if you look at TLD Day 16, it says, watch the YouTube video, Kentucky for Kids, U.S. States Learning video, okay? So you can go to YouTube. You don't have to make an account for this, because YouTube, you just go to YouTube, and you'll have to type in Kentucky for Kids, and probably it should start coming up, okay? Or you can watch the Kentucky featuring rapper MC the Cardinal, and watch that one, okay? And the directions say, write 5 facts you learned. Okay, now, here's what you can do. Make a choice. I want you can tell Mom and Dad 1 fact you learned from the video and have them write it down for you. Or you can talk about it to each other and just have them initial that you talked about it. All right? Now, one other thing you can do, you can have them read the fact sheet for Day 16. Right there.
This one?
And do the same thing. See, it has 16 up here in the corner, and it's just read this section, okay? Read this side. And then same thing. You can tell a fact to Mom and Dad, they can write it down for you, or you can just talk about it and have Mom and Dad sign off on it, okay? So I hope you have all of your math done today. That should have been all of it. I miss you guys. Take care.